All right, family. How you doing? How you doing? Um, just wanna share something with you, brothers and sisters. Right fast. Again, I like to say, shalom to my Israelite brothers and sisters. I like to say hotep to my brothers and sisters who are in Egyptology. I like to say, um, salam alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters, and on and on and on. Okay, I know we got different doctrines and stuff like that, and whatever your belief or whatever your practice spirituality is, all respect to that. I don't knock yours, don't knock mine. And what's sad about it is, you know, people talk about spirituality, and they always try to come against the Bible, and they'll say stuff like, "Well, the Bible's fake, it was plagiarized." For those that believe that, I mean, that's your belief, but you need to stick with one thing. Either the book is plagiarized from your book or it's fake. But if it's fake, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and it came from your book, that means your book is fake also. But what's sad about this is that most people will not sit down and take the time to let somebody teach them and educate them about it. And I would agree that there's a few brothers and sisters that may not understand the Bible, and you may have been misinformed, like some of these sisters and some of these brothers who are in Christianity and who are teaching that doctrine in Christianity, but uh, you know, some of the stories though in the Bible, a lot of them are metaphors and parables. But when you come into understanding and you really read the book and you get some wisdom and some knowledge, you begin to understand some of those parables, um, what they're really talking about, you know. But with that being said, I never seen how people who call themselves spiritual or call themselves educated or wise, they kick against the book. But when somebody like myself would come and show them some principles, some moral principles about the Bible, uh, they want to throw away everything. Even at the expense of throwing away something good, like having morals and values. I heard a gentleman say a while back, if you had a polar bear and you had a grizzly bear, those two bears, but both their diets are a little different, you know. And the Bible has a dietary law. Now, uh, again, with that dietary law, if you look at some of the things that are plaguing our people with high blood pressure and things of that nature, once you come to understand about polluting your body with certain things, which the Bible speaks about, then you would understand that maybe if you change the way you eat, you may you may reduce the risk of certain things. Maybe even have your body begin to get its natural defenses back up to fight off certain illnesses. But again, like I said, a lot of people like to kick against the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because again, uh, they've been sold a bill of goods. By listening to Christianity, so uh, they have just thrown the whole book away because they wasn't privileged to get a little knowledge or have somebody maybe even teach them. Again, I'll sit up there and I'll be honest. I don't know everything in the book. The book itself tell you that we all know truth in part, and once you apply that principle in life, we all know truth in different aspects of our lives. I don't know truth in every aspect of your life. I don't know truth in every aspect of government. I don't know truth in every aspect of finances. I don't know truth in every aspect of education. I mean, so on and so on. So with that being said, once you learn how to apply the things into your life, it begin to make sense. You know. But I mean, if I want to be just critical, and without even putting thinking behind it, I can criticize anything. It's It doesn't take critical thinking to criticize anything. It takes a little intelligence maybe to sometimes shut up and just learn from somebody. And this go to some of you guys from different schools of thoughts that may have been in whatever your perspective doctrine for 25, 35, 45 years. You know, I mean, after all, Martin Luther King, well, he was a great man in his own right, but his doctrine was nonviolent, you know, and he believed in that. But at the same time, you know, you have to say to yourself, sometimes, how long you gonna sit up there and let somebody kick you in the head without trying to fight back? You know, Malcolm X, his philosophy was by any means necessary. Yeah, sometimes you have to come to that. So again, when you look at it, both of their doctrines were their doctrines, and it benefited them for as long as it benefited them. But the problem is, you have to realize both of those guys were fighting the same beast. We are fighting the same system. So I don't have time to sit here and argue with you Negroes in your various doctrines. If you don't believe in the book, move on. If your book is doing good for you, why you worry about my book? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if your book is doing good for you, you need to teach people, get some humility, humble yourself, and teach people. But here it is, if I show you the dietary law, you're still gonna find something about the Bible that you don't like. Won't you? If the principle work for you, use it. The morals of we keep on talking about Black Lives Matter. Well, Black Lives Matter. It teach you about loving your brother. You know, you want to talk about we're a dying nation. It teaches about preserving your people, your nation. Moral principles about a man having a wife is against homosexuality. And for y'all people who are gonna get upset at that, fine, get upset at it. But I mean, if you are about your people existence, you have to understand, two women cannot procreate and two men cannot procreate. So how can it be about Black Lives Matter? So again, you anti your own people. Think about that for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the book give you morals and principles. You know, even to the people who are stealing. If somebody's stealing something from you, right? I mean, the people who's governing this country, the judicial system was set up about the same way. If you steal something, there should be a consequence for that. The problem is when if we do it, we get we get the maximum sentence. When they do it, they get a slap on the wrist. But they don't want to follow the principles of the book. That's what the book was designed for, to keep everybody in line, checks and balances. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You know, then people say, well, the Bible condoned slavery. No, it didn't. It says as a debtor, you had to pay your obligation. You had a debt, you had to pay that off. You was obligated to pay that off. And in the meanwhile, while that person was in servitude to pay that debt off, if you abused them or misused them, you know, if you knock that person's eye out or what have you, that debt will go free. If you did that to a woman and she lost her child, that man, he can he can he can ask for vindication because you made his wife lose her child. Did those people do that? No, they didn't do that. They didn't follow that, but that was in the book. But the problem is you've been lied to by people who don't want to stand on the book and do what the book said. But they gave us the book. They wrote the book, but here it is one side. The book contradicts everything they do. Everything they do. It condemns them, you know? But again, y'all refuse to read the book. You want to condemn the book without even getting any understanding. If we would sit back and start to understand that we are people that we don't have morals. We have lost our morals. We let our daughters go out there and become women of the world. We had morals and principles. If I was dating a young lady, I had to meet her mom. Here it is. We're letting our daughters wear uh mini skirts like they're grown women, makeup like they're grown women, and that's why they're out there so fast and so hot. They need to slow down and be children. Slow down and be children. You know, if as a young man, if I brought a bike home, my parents want to know where I got that bike from. These kids nowadays, parents don't question or ask them nothing. But again, the book has those principles in it, those morals. But everybody want to kick against the book instead of saying, you know what, I might not understand something, but some of those morals and values in it, I think we really need that. You know, this country just passed laws on gay marriages. So if they pass that, that means sooner or later. And again, I'm not knocking y'all. That's y'all thing. But again, I'm not condoning it. I will not condone it. You know, because there's a lot more pedophiles and guys that have that uh that mindset of molesting little children that are called themselves straight than those of the homosexual persuasion. So I'm not giving those guys a pass because they're heterosexual. No, if they're wrong, they're wrong. But again, the book has morals against things like that. But with that being said, if this country passed laws legalizing homosexuality, sooner or later it's going to be bestiality. Matter of fact, a lot of states already passed it. The book says that's an abomination. The book says that's an abomination. But it is nobody wants to argue those points. They don't argue those good points, those things like that. We're being beat up by the same system. Everybody sit up and argue about we're getting beat up by the same system, and the book tell you what that system is. But instead of arguing with me about it, learn about it. We're getting beat up by the same system. How is it that this book predicted that? This book described that to the T. You mean the so-called Caucasian wrote this about himself? You mean to tell me that these people wrote this about this country and then gonna put it in a book just to manipulate you? Matter of fact, let me bring something to your attention. If I had you in bondage, why would I need a book? I would not need to create a book if I had you in bondage. I got you in bondage. I don't need to create a book. So that logic and that philosophy, that's even asinine. Come on, man, think. But we call ourselves scholars, critical thinkers. For real? For real. For every thing that you criticize about the book, I can show you good things about the book. But guess what? We could throw the book. We could throw the book away and let you make up what you want to do. But guess what? If you ain't gonna stand up on your own morals and principles, what good is it? So we're gonna just create a whole bunch of we're gonna let people just do what they want to do, sell dope, rape, murder. It's all good. I mean, we killing each other in the neighborhood. I mean, we talk about Black Lives Matter, but yet we killing ourselves. Again, I'm not about to give these people no pass. But let's look at ourselves. Let's look at ourselves. We're royalty. We're the kings and queens of this earth. And here it is, we have more hatred for ourselves than the people that's murdering us. But again, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox. I just wanted to throw that out there. You know, I'll come back later on with a lesson. But think about it. Stop selling each other out. Shalom.